I got this one in Chicago as well. How is this documentary? As I'm assuming you may be more of a fan, but how is it for someone who knows nothing about this band?
I'm not a particularly big fan of the band Pavement. I was trying to figure out why, because it feels like I should be. They're from an era of rock where, a lot of bands that I really treasure were their sort of like compatriots, contemporaries, maybe is the better word to use there. They did break up in 1999, so that was probably before I was really into like my rock music listening phase of life. I was pretty young. But like I've heard some songs. I wasn't completely unfamiliar with them, and they obviously have a pretty big reputation in the field of American indie rock. That said, like I do think I would have had a better experience at this film if I knew the band better, because it feels like absolutely littered with these little references and in-jokes and moments. But I think ultimately I still had a good time, and it's mostly because this is a pretty clever and cheeky movie from director Alex Ross Perry, a filmmaker that I like quite a bit, who's made movies like Her Smell and Queen of Earth. Listen Up, Philip with Jason Schwartzman is a favorite of mine. Here he is doing a documentary, but it's a blend of different things, because they are simultaneously putting together a museum dedicated to the band Pavement, a Broadway-style musical, jukebox musical, our favorite word, of Pavement's music, starring Zoe Lister-Jones, oddly enough, just to throw another name out there.
Why'd you start with that?
This is a real thing that happened, by the way. And they're also making a traditional Hollywood Bohemian Rhapsody-style narrative movie that's going to be within this movie. Like it is all these like hagiographic forms of pop culture idolatry jammed within this documentary that is very, very knowing and very clever. Like it is sort of a music biodoc that is making fun of the things that other music biodocs do. And that seems to be in the spirit of the band Pavement, which kind of it seemed to have always been doing things that weren't expected of a rock band in their position. So I think it's really like fun. It's full of bits, full of jokes. I think some of them are maybe like they think are more clever than they actually are. But I was really entertained by this. Particularly, there's like a whole bit with Joe Keery, who thinks that this is his like chance to get nominated for an Oscar. So he's taking the research for the role like really, really seriously.
And he's a film within a doc within a film.
Exactly. So there's like fun little beats and nuances to it. I think there's enough there that even if you don't like know that much about Pavement, like you'll still have a good time with it. I anticipate though, if you are a fan of the band, it's just going to be littered with all these really interesting things. You know, it's not a movie that like is going to sit you down and take you from A to B. How did their career develop? But like you do pick up things here and there along the way, and you're not going to be lost, but it's not like an intro to Pavement either.
Sounds concrete. Pavements. It's going to be at Chicago as well. Have my eye on that one for sure.
Yeah, and I think this one it's still bouncing around some film festivals, but I anticipate it won't be that long. Mubi just acquired it.
Yeah, Mubi just charged me again. I had paused it. I completely forgot. I did not cancel. I got that $14.99 charge. I was like, damn, Mubi. So,
you know what? I made a mistake. It's actually Mubi acquired it for UK and France, but Utopia acquired it for the US.
And that's why this episode is brought to you by whatever VPN you need it to be brought to you by. Well, at least it got picked up.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.